Imagine stepping back in time, tens of thousands of years ago, to a world vastly different from ours today. Here, amidst rugged landscapes and under the vast, unspoiled skies, lived a group of our closest ancient relatives, the Neanderthals. These resourceful and resilient beings carved out a life during the harsh ice ages of Europe and Asia, mastering their environment with skills and strategies that have only recently begun to be fully appreciated. Let's embark on a journey to explore a day in the life of the Neanderthals, uncovering the intricacies of their daily activities, from the foods that nourished them to the bonds that united them, painting a vivid picture of their world and their place within it. Exploring the diet of Neanderthals in detail offers fascinating insights into their daily lives and survival strategies. Neanderthals were predominantly meat-eaters. Their diet mainly consisted of large herbivores, including mammoths, woolly rhinos, deer, and wild horses. This is evidenced by animal bones found at Neanderthal sites, often showing cut marks from stone tools used in butchering. The isotopic analysis of Neanderthal bones supports this, indicating a high consumption of meat, comparable to that of contemporary top predators. The Neanderthals were skilled hunters, utilizing a range of tools made from stone, wood, and bone. Spears were a crucial part of their arsenal, likely used for thrusting rather than throwing, suggesting that Neanderthals hunted at close quarters, which was dangerous and required significant skill and bravery. The wear patterns on their bones and teeth also suggest that they might have used their mouths to help in holding or processing animal hides or meat. Their diet varied seasonally. In colder periods, when plant foods were scarce, they relied heavily on meat. During warmer seasons, there was a higher consumption of plant-based foods. This seasonal variation is critical for understanding the flexibility and adaptability in Neanderthal dietary habits. Despite the heavy emphasis on meat, there is evidence that Neanderthals also consumed a variety of plant foods. Microscopic analysis of dental plaque from Neanderthal fossils has revealed residues of cooked plant foods, including legumes, seeds, and tubers. This indicates a more balanced diet than previously thought and suggests they had knowledge of cooking and food preparation. Cooking would have been an essential aspect of their dietary practices, particularly for meat. Evidence from some sites suggests Neanderthals controlled fire, which would have been used for cooking. Cooking not only makes meat more palatable and easier to digest, but also helps in the preservation of food, an essential factor for survival during harsh seasons. Neanderthals inhabited a range of environments across Europe and Asia, and their diet adapted accordingly. In coastal areas, for example, there is evidence that they exploited marine resources, including fish and shellfish. This adaptability showcases their ability to exploit a diverse range of food resources depending on the local environment. The high protein content in the Neanderthal diet would have been crucial for their robust physiques, supporting their muscular build and energy requirements in harsh climates. The diet of Neanderthals was rich and varied, reflecting their adaptability and resourcefulness. Thus, to hunt or collect food must have been the most important part of Neanderthal daily life, most critical for survival. Now let's look at the social aspect of their lives. Exploring the social interactions of Neanderthals offers intriguing insights into their behavior, culture, and perhaps even their cognitive capabilities. Neanderthals likely lived in small groups or family units. Evidence from archaeological sites suggests that these groups were small, perhaps comprising a few dozen individuals. This size would have been manageable for hunting and gathering, and also necessary for survival in the harsh environments they often inhabited. There is compelling evidence indicating that Neanderthals cared for their elderly and injured. Skeletons have been found with healed injuries, suggesting that injured individuals were cared for over long periods. This care extended to elderly individuals as well, indicating a social structure where all members, regardless of their ability to contribute to hunting or other activities, were valued. While the exact nature of Neanderthal language is unknown, anatomical evidence suggests they had the capability for speech. The discovery of the hyoid bone, which supports the tongue's muscles in the throat, in Neanderthal remains is structurally similar to that of modern humans, indicating the potential for complex vocalization. The complexity of their social interactions, hunting strategies, and tool-making skills imply a need for sophisticated communication. It's speculated that they might have had a form of language, although it's unlikely to be as complex as modern human languages. Neanderthals were adept tool-makers, and the creation of their tools likely required collaboration and teaching. The Levallois technique, a sophisticated method used to create stone tools, suggests a shared knowledge base passed down through generations. The passing down of complex tool-making skills implies a level of social interaction centered around learning and teaching. Young Neanderthals likely learned these skills from older members of the group, indicating a communal approach to knowledge sharing. There is evidence that Neanderthals engaged in burial practices. The intentional burial of the dead suggests a form of ritual and indicates a level of emotional and social complexity. These practices might have had symbolic or spiritual significance, reflecting beliefs about life and death. Discoveries of ornaments and pigments at Neanderthal sites suggest they might have engaged in symbolic practices or body decoration. This indicates a social and cultural aspect of their lives that went beyond mere survival. Genetic evidence shows that Neanderthals interbred with Homo sapiens, indicating some level of social interaction between the two species. This interbreeding had a lasting genetic impact, as a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA is present in modern human populations outside of Africa. The nature of their interactions with Homo sapiens could have ranged from conflict to cooperation, although the specifics are still a matter of research and debate. Neanderthals' social interactions were likely complex and multifaceted, encompassing family dynamics, care for the less able, possibly a rudimentary form of language, collaborative tool-making, and perhaps even symbolic or ritualistic practices. These aspects hint at a social structure that was nuanced and sophisticated, challenging the outdated notion of Neanderthals as mere brutish cave dwellers. Examining Neanderthal child-rearing practices provides a window into the social and familial aspects of their lives. While direct evidence is limited, inferences can be drawn from archaeological findings and comparisons with modern hunter-gatherer societies. Analysis of teeth has provided insights into the diet and weaning patterns of Neanderthal children. Like modern humans, they likely breastfed their infants. The weaning process probably began at around 1 year of age, transitioning to solid foods similar to what adults ate, rich in protein and fat from meat, as well as plant-based foods. Neanderthal children would have learned essential survival skills from an early age. This included tool use and manufacturing, hunting techniques, foraging knowledge, and understanding their environmental surroundings. Learning through observation and participation in group activities would have been crucial. While direct evidence of toys or play is scarce, it's plausible that Neanderthal children, like all human children, engaged in play as a means of learning and development. Play could have been an essential part of their socialization, helping them develop physical skills, social bonds, and cognitive abilities. The high infant mortality rates likely in Neanderthal communities meant that considerable care and attention would have been given to ensure the survival of children. The discovery of children's remains in what appear to be intentional burials, suggests that they were valued members of their communities. Neanderthal groups, being small and close-knit, likely had strong social support structures. This communal living would have meant that child-rearing was not just the responsibility of the biological parents, but involved the wider group, a system known as alloparenting. Neanderthal children faced numerous challenges, including harsh climatic conditions, potential food shortages, and the risk of injury or predation. Their physical robustness was likely a response to these challenges, but it also meant that their young had to be resilient and adaptable from an early age. Examination of juvenile Neanderthal skeletons has provided clues about their health and the challenges they faced. Trauma and stress markers on bones, for instance, offer insights into the hardships of Neanderthal childhoods. Understanding these aspects of Neanderthal life sheds light on the social and familial structures that underpinned their existence and survival in challenging environments. Neanderthal community living, while not fully understood in every detail, can be pieced together from archaeological findings and anthropological theories. Their community structure likely played a crucial role in their survival and social interactions. Neanderthals are believed to have lived in small groups, typically consisting of around 20–30 individuals. These groups were likely close-knit, composed of family members and extended kin. The small group size was practical for the nomadic lifestyle they led, which involved moving across landscapes in search of food and resources. Evidence suggests that Neanderthal groups had defined territories they roamed within. These territories were large enough to provide the necessary resources, but small enough to be manageable for hunting and gathering. Seasonal movements within these territories were common, driven by the availability of food and climate conditions. Cooperation would have been a key aspect of Neanderthal community living. From hunting large animals to caring for the young and elderly, the success and survival of the group depended on working together. While the exact nature of social hierarchies within Neanderthal communities is not known, it's plausible that there were some forms of leadership or status distinctions. These could have been based on age, skill, or other attributes. However, the egalitarian nature of most hunter-gatherer societies suggests that any hierarchy was likely more fluid and less pronounced than in later human societies. Neanderthals used natural caves as shelters, as well as constructing their own. In some cases, they built structures within caves or in open-air sites, using available materials like wood, bones, and stone. These structures provided protection from the elements and served as central locations for activities like cooking, tool-making, and socializing. Hearths found at Neanderthal sites indicate central areas for cooking and warmth. These hearths were not just functional, but also social spaces, where members of the group would gather, share meals, and perhaps engage in storytelling or other social activities. Interactions between different Neanderthal groups are not well documented, but were likely occasional. These could have involved the exchange of members, for mating purposes, knowledge, and perhaps even goods. While the nature of these intergroup relations is speculative, they could have ranged from cooperative to competitive, depending on the circumstances, such as resource competition or mutual challenges. Their social structure facilitated not just survival, but also the transmission of knowledge and skills, and likely involved rituals and symbolic acts that strengthened group bonds and cultural identity. The role of women in the daily lives of Neanderthals, while not entirely clear due to the limitations of the archaeological record, can be inferred from a combination of skeletal analyses, wear patterns on tools, and comparisons with modern hunter-gatherer societies. Women in Neanderthal societies likely played a crucial role in gathering plant-based food, which was an essential part of their diet. This task involved identifying and collecting edible plants, roots, nuts, and possibly small animals or insects. Their knowledge of the local flora would have been vital for the group's nutrition and survival. Women probably also took charge of food processing and cooking. This would have included tasks like skinning animals, preparing meat, and cooking meals. The control of fire, an ability Neanderthals possessed, would have been crucial for these activities, enabling them to make food more digestible and safe to eat. Neanderthal women were likely the primary caregivers for children, a role that encompassed not just nurturing and protecting infants, but also teaching and socializing them into the group's culture and survival skills. Women would have been key in passing down knowledge and skills, especially those related to foraging and food preparation. This transmission of knowledge from one generation to the next was critical for the survival and continuity of their communities. Evidence suggests that Neanderthal women were involved in making and using tools. Where patterns on tools and injuries on female skeletal remains indicate active participation in various tasks, including processing animal hides and working with plant materials. The diversity in tool types suggests a range of activities that women might have engaged in, from crafting clothing and shelter materials to preparing food and making utensils. While direct evidence is scarce, it is plausible that women had a voice in decisions affecting the group, such as when and where to move, based on their knowledge of plant cycles and water sources. Women likely played a role in maintaining social bonds and cultural practices within the group. This could have included storytelling, nurturing intergroup relationships, and possibly participating in or leading rituals. Neanderthal women, like the men, were physically robust, adapted to the rigors of their environment. This physicality was necessary for the demanding tasks they performed daily. The health and lifespan of women would have been directly impacted by their lifestyle, with challenges such as childbirth, nutritional stress, and the physical demands of their daily tasks. Women in Neanderthal societies likely had multifaceted roles, encompassing food gathering and preparation, childcare, tool making, and contributing to the social and cultural fabric of the group. The role of hunters in Neanderthal daily life was central to their survival and social organization. Their hunting practices reflect a sophisticated understanding of their environment and prey, as well as a high level of cooperation and skill. Neanderthals primarily hunted large game, such as mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, deer, and bison. This required a deep understanding of animal behavior, migration patterns, and habitats. The nutritional value of these large animals was significant, providing not just food, but also materials for clothing, tools, and shelter. Hunting large animals necessitated careful planning and coordination. Neanderthals likely used strategies like driving animals into traps or ambushes and close-range hunting using spears. This involved risk and required physical strength and endurance, as well as tactical thinking. The creation and use of hunting tools were a critical aspect of their role as hunters. Neanderthals crafted spears from wood and stone blades and points using complex techniques. The maintenance and improvement of these tools would have been a continuous process driven by the demands of hunting. There is evidence of innovation in their hunting tools over time, indicating a response to changing environments and prey. This adaptability in tool making reflects a sophisticated level of knowledge and skill. Hunting was likely a cooperative effort involving multiple members of the group. This collaboration was crucial for taking down large animals and would have required clear communication and roles during the hunt. Experienced hunters would have played a key role in training younger members of the group. The transfer of hunting skills and knowledge was essential for the survival and continuity of their communities. While the extent is not fully known, there may have been rituals or customs associated with hunting, possibly to ensure success or for spiritual reasons related to the animals they hunted. Successful hunters may have held a certain status within the group. Their skill in providing food and resources would have been highly valued, possibly influencing social dynamics and mate selection. Injuries and even fatalities would have been common, as evidenced by healed fractures and other traumas found on Neanderthal remains. The success of hunters was critical, not just for food, but for the overall survival of the group, especially in harsh climates where plant-based food sources were scarce. The risks they faced and the skills they developed highlight the complex and challenging nature of Neanderthal existence. The daily life of Neanderthals, set against the backdrop of harsh and unforgiving environments, was a testament to their resilience, adaptability, and social cohesion. Each member of the group, irrespective of their role, contributed significantly to their collective survival. Together, these elements paint a picture of a robust and complex society, adeptly navigating the challenges of their time, with each individual's role being a critical piece of the greater mosaic of Neanderthal life. Please like and subscribe for more such videos. Thanks for watching.